You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello, you degenerate fucks, and welcome to the Degenerate Gambler. It is Sunday, the 23rd of July. Just back with another episode. Um, yeah, I've been doing these episodes the weekend. I haven't had much time during the week, but it doesn't really matter as season hasn't started. But for the first week of the season, obviously the episode will be Wednesday or Thursday as it normally is. Season starts well. A lot of European leagues are starting now. I think the Danish league started, the Romanian league. There's a few of them sort of minor leagues in Europe that started, but the EFL kicks off on the 4th. I think it is 4th of August, so that's only 2 weeks away. So between now and then, I'll be getting my outrights picked. I'll probably have them for next week, maybe some of them anyway. But we'll see. So look, this episode is going to be about keeping costs down. So, look, we all know what it's like when you're gambling. It's easy to lose a lot of money. There's that thing everybody always says, "Oh, never bet more than you can afford to lose," and I'm sure most people do that. But even people who, like myself, who don't go mental with big, massive bets and don't bet every day, sort of thing. It's still easy to lose a lot of money. One of the ways you can do that is like reloading when your bet's beat. You say you pick five teams, and after 10 minutes, one team's 2 or 3 nil down. You're like, right, well, that bet's done. So let's go and pick another one. Or, on days like, say, like a Saturday or Sunday when there's games basically starting all the time, you pick an early bet, it's beat. You pick an afternoon bet, it's beat. And then you go trying to get a bet when there's maybe only 7 games, 6 games at sort of, 7:45, 8 o'clock. Uh, and there's not much there to choose from. But because you want to bet, you end up picking a bet of selections that you haven't really studied. That can happen a lot. So look, I've last year I did well, did not do that as much as I used to do. I'm not going to be honest. I'll say I still did it the odd time, but I was a lot better than the years before, where I would have just kept going and maybe lost, did 4 or 5 bets in a day when I really only planned to do 2 or 3. So you should just sort of have a plan of how much you're willing to spend, and sort of stick to it. And again, you might go over it slightly, but try to keep as close to that as possible. Another way that, you know, even when you win, is a thing that's actually called steaming, which is when you win a bet that you go, let's say you win £124 odds change. You go steaming in your next bet and do a 15 or 20 or £25 bet because you think, well, I'm up. But then if that losses, now you're down to 100 and you're like, oh, well, I'll do a best bet to try and get that back. And that can be a big issue where you just hand the winning money back straight back to the bookie. So what I try to do is, let's say, for example, again, I win £124. I will take 100 out, leave 20 in the account to bet with, and then we £4 something. If I want to steam in and do another bet because you get that high of winning, I'll just put that £4 odds. And I've done it before with like £2 odds or whatever, just on a bet that even maybe wins 30, 40 quid, because it's not so much about the winning. It's because you've had that adrenaline of the winning bet. It's not the money, it's the winning. You get addicted to that as much as you do, winning money. So, things like that are wee tips to try to keep costs down. Other ways, and I know I talk about this a lot, but it is major, is using your free spins and playing the free games that are available on all bookmakers. Now, since I last talked about this, there's been Bet365 have got in this game. They never really used to do it, and also some of the better ones like William Hill have went down a bit. But I'll get into that in a minute. So I'll go through them all the bookmakers uh, that I have an account with. If there's any out there that I'm missing of bookmakers that maybe I don't know that I should be getting involved in, or that have good free games or whatever, I'm always willing to sign up to a new bookmaker for a new offer. If it's something that I can get some free spins or free games out of. But anyway, so I'll go through mine. So Paddy Power have the one free spin a day. It's not great. You very rarely get wins. Maybe you get wins more if you use Paddy Power more, but the most I've ever won on it is a £1, or not a £1, a 10p scratch card. and I think the most I've won off them is 50p. So like it's not the best in the world, but use it anyway. The other thing is beat the drop. Again, if you are low on funds or whatever, especially maybe during the week when there's not that much football on, beat the drop is a good way to have at least a sweat. If anybody doesn't know how beat the drop works, is they give you a few selections and you start off, I think it's £1,000, and you have to put a certain amount on each day, and you keep going until you've done, I think it's 5 6 bets, and whatever's left at the end of it you win. So it is a good way to at least get a sweat for free. Next to be Ladbrokes. So Ladbrokes, they have the game 1 2 3, which is a predictor game where you predict 3 scores at the weekend. If you get one right, you get a £1 free bet. Two right's a £5 free bet, and three right is £100 in free bets. So a decent game to play. It might even be free bets. It might be cash. No, no, it's free bets. Yeah, I think it's free bets. But either way, it's another way to keep costs down. They also have a spin game, which is a bit hit and miss. Um, there is some good things on it. Sometimes you'll get free bets. Sometimes you'll get a free bet token, which can be good. That takes you to like their Vegas style games, the roulette or things like Monopoly or things like that. And you can win decent money on those. So Ladbrokes isn't that bad. Next, Virgin Bet and Live Score. They both have what's called Virgin Bet called fives, Live Score called squads. Those bookmakers are basically the same. I think they're owned by the same people. But what those are is every day you log on, you get to turn over a card, and the card is a player. At the end of the week, when you have all 5 cards, all 5 players, it gives you an amount based on a spin of a wheel. It can be anywhere from 10p to 50 quid. And if it's whatever the value is in money, so let's say it's £1, for every goal any of those 5 players scores, you get that amount in cash. And there's times in the past I think I've won 3 or 4 quid. I know guys who use it as their main bookmaker have got the 50 quid a few times and have got money back on that. So that one is relatively, pays, just depending on the players you get. If you get 5 defenders, you're probably unlikely. But there's one a while ago, a friend of mine got Son, he got a Brighton player and somebody else, and all 3 of them scored, and I think he got 150 quid. So there's it just depends. A lot of these I think depend on how much you use the bookmaker. Some of them don't pay that well because you're not putting any funds in. On to the next one. I think it's the best, which is William Hill. So William Hill, now they've had beat the drop and scratch of the day for a long time. I'll get to those in a minute, but a lot of times when you log into William Hill, at the sort of towards the bottom of the screen, there'll be just a wee link to 5 free spins. Sometimes it's a free £1 Monopoly bonus, or what are those other games called? Well, and there's a few of those sort of live casino games where they're spinning a wheel and it's live. There's a person there spinning the wheel and you bet on certain things. But so they do that quite regularly, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, maybe more. It changes, so you could get maybe 20 free spins a week, or more. So that's good. They also have what I've noticed now, and this is new. So this is something that I've only noticed in the last few months, maybe 3 4 months, is at the very bottom of the screen where like the my bet section is and the bet slip section. There's a part that says Vegas, and it's like a wee what do you call that? Like a one arm bandit, the three bars. And when you click that, it takes you to where all those games are. They're like a Monopoly and they're like all those virtual games. But sometimes, maybe once or twice a week, they offer you 5 free spins in there. So I think that's just a way for them is to get you onto that page, because at the end of the day, all of these, every one of these, is about engagement. It's about you being on the app. And while you're on the app, you might see, an offer, a boosted bet, or whatever, and play with your own money. That's what these are all about. They're not about giving you money back. They're about getting you on their website every day if possible, so that you may gamble. That's basically it. So there is you need to be a bit restrained sometimes. But that Vegas one, as I say, that is separate from so some days you go in, you have there's a game called Gold on the main page. You click that, you get your 5 free spins. You go into Vegas, and then there's maybe another game, a totally separate game. So you're getting 10 free spins on that day. So William Hill are the best. The two that I talked about at the start that they've had for ages are Scratch of the Day and the bonus drop. Now, there was a while there, right up until towards the end of last season, where every day of the week you were getting 5 free spins on the bonus drop. Every day. And I spoke about this with friends as well who do it, and they were saying the same. But towards the end of last season and up until now, well, there was a while there for about 2 or 3 months, I didn't get a single one. And it all coincided with the change of the logo. I think they lowered the odds of being able to get the free spins. So for 2 or 3 months, I didn't get any. And then at the start of July there, for like 3 days in a row, I got 3 spins. And then that's back to nothing again for the rest of July. So again, that could be down to me not using it. Maybe I don't know. Around the start of July, did I do a bet? Did I do a couple of horses or something on it, where maybe it upped my activity, so it allowed me to win some free spins? But normally that is a reasonable one to do. And then scratch of the day, is more about do a £5 bet, get a free £5 bet, things like that, or do a bet, get an in-play bet. So again, that's keeping costs down. Where if you log on to that in the morning and it says place a £5 bet in football and get a £5 free bet, well then there's a tenner's worth of thing covered for a fiver. It's just again another way to keep costs down. Um, but no matter what, William Hill is the best, even though the bonus drop has went downhill a bit. So getting on to the new one, Bet365 never used to do any of these things, so they are new to the game. So they have a few different new ones. They have the goals giveaway. So every day again, and like I say, this is why a lot of these things like the 5 squads on this are daily. Is each day you get a new, you go onto the goals giveaway section, click a button, it spins and gives you a game. If that game has 4 or more goals, you get 50p. 5 or more goals, you get £1. And if you get 20 or more goals in between the 5 games, you get a fiver. But that's again every day. So you have to log on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get your full 5 games. So again, the engagement, they're keeping you on the page. That's what they want. So that one is quite decent. So it's 5 random games. Say over 3 goals, 50p, over 4 goals, £1, and then maximum. And you can also get 20. If there's over 20 in all between all 5 games, you get a fiver. So you can win a tenner on that maximum. Decent game. I've had some decent returns on it. £150, £2, which you just add into your next bet. That's giving you more of a stake. They also have a correct score game, which is 3 correct scores is a fiver, 4 correct scores is 50 quid, 5 is 1,000, and 6 is 100,000. Now, if you're getting sick, I know you've obviously got Super 6 and stuff like that, but that's not bad either. They also have a game, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called All for One or All for something. It's something like that. So when you click in they do it on mostly live TV games. If you click in to where the sort of bat builder and all the different selections, corners, goals, all that's along the top, there's a bit that says All For or For All, or whatever it's called. I can't remember. I tried to look it up, but it's not available at the minute. So obviously they're not offering it on these shit games. But basically, it allows you to make 2 predictions in the first half, and it's usually things like will there be a goal in the first 20 minutes, or will there be more than 1 goal in the half, stuff like that. So if you get those 2 right, then you go on at half time, and then you make 2 more predictions, and you can win. I'm not even sure what it is. Is it £100 or something? But again, another way, if you're skinned, you're trying to keep costs down, you've already blew all your money for the day, and there's a late game or something on, it's a way for you to have some sort of an interest in a bet. The other 2, which are bookmakers that I don't use a lot, but I do go on them from time to time, Betfair, they have a bonus drop thing similar to William Hill, but it's not great. I don't think I've ever had anything returned from it. And then lastly, Boyle Sport. So I only joined Boyle Sport for Cheltenham this year because to get this joining offer for one, but also because they do treble the odds on one winner on a lucky 15. So anyway, so just being on the site, they do have some decent offers and they do offer some free bets every now and again. But the one that I like to play is I play fantasy football, the FPL, and they have it every week. That if you go on, you have to pick. They give you 5 games and you have to pick a player in that game, and it gives you like a base layer of scores. So say you go on, it's Spurs versus United. Harry Kane's base may be like 6.5. So if you pick Harry Kane, if he gets more than 6.5 players, you get a free bet. or 6.5 players, 6.5 points. But again, they're very good at getting the handicap right because for Kane, that's a goal and 2 points for playing. So that's six. So he needs to do something else. He needs to either score another goal, get an assist, whatever. And bonus points don't count, like man of the match or anything like that doesn't count. But again, it's free. It's 5 players. You can win. I think it's £1 for one rate. I think it's £5 for two. I can't even remember the things, but again, just another way of how we keep costs down. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this game to make money. None of us want to lose any money. And, even myself who, I have a pretty healthy balance of, of what I can lose and what's reasonable for me to lose. But even sometimes I do it, I'll waste too much money at the weekend, meaning I have to be careful during the week and I can't go, overboard with my bets. So things like that can help. They're always a good tool. Um, so yeah, look, as I say, next week's episode will probably be at the weekend, and then I'll be back like the first, what's that going to be, the 2nd or 3rd of August, which is Wednesday or Thursday, before the weekend starts, and I'll have two bets for the weekend. Say the first game's on Friday night, but I'll have two bets for Saturday for the football returning, which look, I'm sure we're all happy that it's back. I've done very little betting over the thing, a few horses and stuff like that. I actually had a bet yesterday. It was very close. Hacken in Sweden beat it. The rest of the 5 selections were up. I've bets for today. This is going out, say, Sunday morning. I'll have bets today, but I've been taking it rather easy. As I say, I've saved up a few quid for my outrights, so I've got the money there for those. Yeah, so say just clock's ticking now. We're just all waiting for the main football to come back. So that's it for today. Just leaves me to say, if you are doing a bet, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Here, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.